So now we can go ahead and jump into the quick hits. Now, these aren't stories that deserve like a serious deep dive, but they are stories that were brought to our attention. So we definitely want to talk about them, I should say. So let's go ahead and jump into it. First up on the quick hits, November. The month of November has been very, very, very good for console or home console sales. Is this the North American numbers or is this worldwide?
This is just North American numbers, okay. NPD. We know it's the holiday season. It's the big season for consoles.
NPD, you bust out the abacus, boys. Let's go.
It looks like the Switch won November for all reporting, but not by a lot, because apparently the demise of the console gaming has been greatly exaggerated as each console. We're talking about Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch sold more than 1.3 million units just in the month of November. So that's 4 million console systems sold in November, and that's up 3% from last year. And what's interesting about this number and why I stuck this in there, this is typically the time. I mean, this is what, the 6th year?
Yeah, for Xbox, right?
Fifth year. It's 5th year for both Xbox and PlayStation.
Okay.
So this is typically the peak, and this is where you start seeing the declines, and that's not happening. And a lot of analysts have been pointing out to, and I looked at several articles. A lot of analysts are pointing out to the iterative consoles when with the Xbox and the PlayStation. We look at the Pro and the Xbox One X and both. Yep, and both of them had sales during November. The Pro was anywhere from $20 to $50 off, and the One X was up to $100 off. And
see this controller?
Oh, look at them!
Yep, that's an Xbox One. That's an Xbox One X controller. Merry Christmas!
All the black buttons. All the buttons are black. Everything's black on it.
Yep. Christmas came early for me. I got me a Xbox One X. So of course, I hand me down my original to my younger brother. So now we're gonna be X buddies, Xbox buddies.
Next step is that 4K. Back on tangent. The Nintendo Switch is still the fastest selling console in North American history, so it's still doing very well. Even though it had very limited sales, I think they had most of the sales I saw were like $25 gift cards, or there was a game bundle.
Game bundles,
yeah, but there was no real money off of it. But you know what? Consoles are going to be here, and they're going to be here for a while. Especially when you start taking the consoles and you make them utility boxes where they play games, they play your 4K movies. You can stream all your streaming services are on there. If you are even just a casual gamer, it makes sense to spend $200-$300 on a console and be able to have all of these items, all of this functionality into one box, instead of having a box for your Blu-ray player and a box for your streaming. And I know we got all of the smart TVs and stuff like that, but what happens with the TVs is, the TV makers stop supporting their software. I mean, I was over at a friend's house not too long ago. I helped set up his wireless network. They bought new routers. They just bought the house just recently. Okay. They bought new routers, and I helped them set it up. And they had a TV, it was a smart TV, but nothing works because all of the developers, Netflix, Hulu, and YouTube dropped updates, so they don't have an updated service, so they can't even get into those apps on that TV. So
that sucks. I didn't know that happened. That's weird.
Oh yeah, that happens a lot. They changed that. They're changing. Samsung is notorious for this. They changed their operating systems like it's nobody's business. I mean, Sony went with Android TV, which has its own problems. LG bought Palm OS, and they used that, which is actually probably one of the best operating systems on any TV. When you look at like Vizio and some of these other Chinese manufacturers, they use Roku. So they're kind of helping themselves out. But those things you have to license when you look at Android TV, Roku, and that stuff. But I think there's always going to be a place for consoles.
Of course, and we've already heard whispers in the wind of PlayStation 5, and Xbox has, shown that they're not giving up in the home console race, whatever it is that they decide to do. And Nintendo is video games, so
that's all they do.
So Switch after the Switch is going to be here for a while, but even after that, Nintendo will have a place in gaming. There will always be a place for gaming in the house, on the couch, and that's what I can appreciate. What's that? Fatal the Baptist. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. So yeah, that was November for gaming, for console gaming, which I'm very excited for. There was a lot of good sales, and I actually took advantage of some of them. So good for consoles and good for gaming. But let's go ahead and move on. Next up in our
something
quick
bad
hits,
for gaming.
Yeah, next up in our quick hits is something very bad for gaming.
Because this is for you.
Yeah, this was actually a story that was submitted to us by one of our faithful followers, Maury Jin, over in the Discord. Gave us the story that Soulja Boy has been making his own handheld and home-based consoles, and what's crazy is that. Let me finish. And what's crazy is that a lot of these consoles are playing like other people's games. Like they have they play like Nintendo games, like all types of stuff. And it's bad. It's really, really bad, because not only are these the like Chinese ripoffs of consoles, but this guy is Soulja Boy is taking those consoles, upselling them. And then, from what I've been hearing, people haven't even been receiving them in the mail, and it's like they haven't been able to get their money back either.
Yeah, I can believe that. So basically, what he has is some Chinese knockoffs, right?
Yeah.
There's the one he has is called the Retro Soulja Boy Mini, and it was the Retro Mini out of China.
He has a bunch of different like console and handheld variants. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. And they're all just, like you said, Chinese knockoff Chinese knockoff systems. This Retro Mini looks exactly like a Game Boy. There's no difference between, if you took off all of the labeling, you wouldn't know that this wasn't a Game Boy.
Right.
You couldn't tell. I mean, it is definitely a Game Boy. It comes with like 508 preloaded games, which they do not list, because if they did list them, that would just be more evidence of their shenanigans.
Right.
And then the Fuse Tomahawk, that actually came out in. They call it, what's he call it? The Soulja game Fuse. This was the Fuse Tomahawk F1, which was released by a Chinese company back in 2016. And it is a square box like an Xbox, but the design cues are to the PlayStation, where it has the matte and then glossy black finish. The controller is an Xbox One controller. And I don't know what games it actually played on it. I think it was also an emulating machine. Yeah. And this one is selling for $400. What?
Yeah, I don't know. This is essentially just him exploiting people that don't know no better. Because if you at a first glance, you could tell that this is like, a cheap knockoff. And, these things have been around for years. There's always been like these knockoff consoles. I remember, Nintendo came out with the Wii. So the Chinese manufacturers came out with the Wii WEE.
Yeah, I remember that.
And they had all the different types, because they had all the different types of nunchucks or whatever. Shout out to Jamal for the sub over on YouTube. Thank you for that. Appreciate you, homie. But yeah, man, it's bad. And what's worse is that I don't think he's been sent a cease and desist yet.
Not
but
yet.
I think there was rumblings that Nintendo was investigating, and that if he was caught to have any kind of Nintendo properties or whatever, that they would be giving him the hammer, of justice, because Nintendo has sued people for a lot less than what Soulja Boy is doing. He is essentially selling consoles with Nintendo properties on them, in addition to other properties, of course.
Right.
This is going to end badly for him. No matter how you look at it, this is going to end badly for him.
And let's add the little sprinkles to the top of this shit. And, Soulja Boy is planning on releasing or launching esports teams for Fortnite, Overwatch, and Call of Duty coming up in 2019. So I don't know. I'm sure his Overwatch team won't be part of the Overwatch League, as I doubt if he has what is like $140 million, was it, to get an Overwatch team?
Maybe that's why he's selling these rip-off consoles to raise the money to do these things. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be mad at Soulja Boy for just doing that. If you want to, have a, sponsor a team, that's dope. But you are stealing people's work and selling it as your own.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he has a Game Boy looking thing, and it's not called the Soulja Boy. It's called the Soulja Game Mini or something like that.
Yeah, he has a Soulja Game handheld, which is the one that's on the left side in your picture, the handheld he's holding. Yeah. He has the what's he called? The Soulja Game Fuse, which is I think
it's like a black looking box or something like that.
I think the one that's in his hand there is a Xbox One S, to be quite honest.
I don't know what the hell that is. Yeah.
But the Fuse is the console one, and then there's the retro Soulja Boy Mini, which is the one that looks like the Game Boy. Okay. And it has all of the PlayStation logos, the X square, triangle, circle on the box.
My God. He's selling the Soulja Game Fuse is $400.
Yep.
And that's discounted from $640.
No,
it's discounted.
Oh, is it discounted? Because
they slashed the price and they're only selling it for $4.99.
What's funny is
oh my God.
What's funny is the Fuse Tomahawk F1, which is the box that he's selling, that home console one for $400. When they were selling it for like $150. And just like the retro mini that he's selling for $100, I think that thing was like $40. So
yeah, the other one that he's holding, that's called the Soulja Game Console. That's just what it's called.
Yeah, so I mean, not only is he ripping off people, I mean, is he stealing people's work? He's marking it up like 100%. Yeah. He's doing too much. He's doing a lot, and it's gonna end bad for him. No matter how you look at it, I don't know what's going on.
If esports is the Wild West, Soulja Boy is an outlaw. I agree 100%.
But he's a bad outlaw.
But yeah, he's a bad outlaw. he's
the outlaw that's going to be at the end of that rope. He's not the one that gets away.
Yeah. But we'll see. We'll definitely keep this in our sights, and once all hell breaks loose, we'll be sure to report on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on. We got one more quick hit for you guys, and this is actually a pretty cool story. Bonnie Ross, who is the head of 343 Industries, which develops the Halo series, she is going to be inducted into the AIAS Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Academy of Interactive Arts and Science.
Yeah,
and good for her. Congratulations. Oh, yeah. She's been in the business for about 20 years. She has credits for Gears, Mass Effect, Counter-Strike, and of course the 343 versions of Halo, which started with Halo ODST is the first one, right? Halo 3 ODST.
ODST was still Bungie, from what I believe. It was the one after that, so I think Reach or something like that.
Okay. So yeah, she's got title. She's got credit for those.
You could be right. I have no idea.
She's the actual founder of 343 Studios even. So I mean, she's put in her lumps, and we know how hard it is for women in the gaming industry, especially when they're trying to be behind the scenes. It's not easy for them. So I mean, she stuck around, she stood up for herself, and she's being rewarded. Good for her.
Yeah. So very good for her. When does all of this take place, or has it already happened?
No, the induction is on February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day, at the Dice Awards. The next year's Dice Awards.
Okay.
So that's when they're going to do the induction ceremony for her.
So that's cool. So once that happens, we'll definitely update you guys on that. But yeah, this is nothing but a good thing. 343 Industries, since its inception, had some pretty big shoes to fill. For them taking over the Halo franchise from Bungie. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people will tell you that they've done a terrible job, but I mean, I don't know. Halo is still a flagship franchise for Microsoft. I'm a little skeptical on what they're doing next, because they're essentially making a open world like game as a service type game for Halo. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
What's funny is that's what Bungie wanted to do with Halo, and that's why they went off and made Destiny.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But as far as the main story, her being inducted to the Hall of Fame, that's a given. She definitely deserves it. So she's gonna get our a weekly gaming news show round of applause. There we go. Give her the round of applause for being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Congratulations to her. And that's our quick hits. We didn't go through it quickly at all.
No, not at all.